Welcome to a bright day in Empyrion Galactic Survival. You can see here the sun's coming up, guys, and what I want to do is just check the orientation of the base. So the base is east-west, this direction. That's going to be quite important when we get round to deploying solar panels. But before I talk about anything else, I want to thank Austin Peck, I think that's how your name is pronounced, for passing a very valid comment and putting a link into a video made by Spanj. I will put the link in the video description, and in my previous video I said that the hover vehicle was tail heavy because it was overloaded. In fact, it was tail heavy because the way that the physics for the new mass container storage works is that the center of gravity is a container controller, and because this is at the back, it's making the ship tail heavy. So when you're building ships, this is going to be quite an important consideration. You're going to need to put the container controller in the center of the ship, or near the ship's center of gravity. So that's going to be quite useful. Now what I want to do in this part is, well, we need to get up to level 7. I also want to put out a oxygen generation in water, so that one means I'll be able to go underwater. You can see I've done a little bit of experimenting underwater, so because my oxygen is down, and more importantly, we will need the oxygen for when we go out into space. But first things first, what I want to do is do a bit of preliminary building on my base, with the view towards powering the base up by the end of this episode. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it, but we're going to give it a go, guys. And what we're going to do is F4, and what I want to do is just do a connection, because what I need to do is deploy the large constructor, and the only way you can do that is by having a connection to the storage inside of the base. And we're just going to come up here, and I think we can. No, I think I want to keep that for the power generation. I think we can shove the power generation into this corner, and that's that built now. And if I come back to F4, I've got plenty of concrete blocks, so I want to do a tiny little bit of building. I think what I want to do is, yeah, I missed out a block there, and what I'm going to do is just come out maybe another 2 rows, and keep missing that corner block. It doesn't like me. And come here. Oops, no, down please. I don't want to really close this end off at the moment, so we're just going to come like that. And I have been putting these blocks here like this, but I think up here I want a bit of a flat area, because this is where we're going to maybe have our turrets and also the solar panels. I mean, this is all subject to change, to be honest, guys. I mean, because when you build these first bases, especially when you build them manually like this, they invariably look like blockhouses. I'm going to leave the hole in the roof for the moment because it will make it easier to deploy things. Maybe we'll just fill in that little bit there, so that I've got enough area to mount the cannons when they're ready to be built. And right, I think what we're just going to do is come in here, break the connection. That goes back into there. Now the next thing I need to look at tech is off camera. I did a little bit of playing. We got to level 6. We're getting close to level 7, so I want to get up to level 7 as quickly as possible. Now the thing I definitely need to unlock here is the ammo box, but we can't make it until we power up the base. And I want the food processor and the large solar panels. Just looking through here, one of my key targets is the deconstructor, but we need to get to level 12 for that. I'm not going to worry too much about these just for the moment, simply because I've got enough storage capacity with the standard blocks there We're certainly going to need the turrets, and that's about it. All my points. I mean, the only other thing I would like to do is an assault rifle. We can't unlock it because I've used all the points up, but that's not a great issue because we can make the assault rifle, I think. Let's just have a quick check in the hover vehicle. And what I want to do is, I can't remember where I put the, yeah, and what I want is to hook this up. So I want to go and deploy this immediately, and I think we're just going to hook a few of those. Just keep producing some wood, so we're going to need to keep producing more wood and get the fuel. I'm just going to jump in this ship. Can't remember if I've got, yep, I've got left the thrusters on again. Always doing that. What we're going to do now is we're just going to go out and, as I said, what I want to do is level off the, actually there's a creature over there, I think we're going, yeah, I want to get to level 7 so that I can open up the, well, I can recruit the, just going to go and, I mean, this is how I've been leveling up, is by killing these guys. And that actually level up, I can't remember. Nope. How close am I? Oh, it's a bit closer than that. Oh, we're very close. I think we'll see it on here. I mean, I'm not too interested in hunting at the moment because this area's got so much plant protein on it. It just seems a bit pointless to hunt. And the other reason why I'm resisting the temptation to hunt is that I don't want to upset the Talon at the moment because we may need to trade with them. At the moment, my inclination is, oh, there we are, we've now reached level 7. My inclination at the moment is to stay within the structure of the game as it was in with Alpha 8. And if I get back into the ship so I'm safe, I'll explain that. And I can't remember how to get in here. If we come in here, you can see we've got relations. We've got 506,000. It says that we're neutral at the moment. If you look down this list on the right hand side, you'll see that there's plenty of ways to upset the Talon, but very few ways of improving relations except killing predators in their territory. And it'd be very easy to make a mistake. I mean, if we kill Xerax, that's going to improve our standing. We could go on a hostile patrol against the Xerax, so that's why it makes sense to take on the Xerax and kill them, because I think that also applies to the Polaris here. And the Xerax hate us. Now, another way that we can improve our standing is we come into here. We can get the mission, and this is very tempting actually. It says here, did you notice the unholy whispering in some old place on this planet? Find the ancient skyscraper where one of the native communities settles nearby. I mean, I'm a bit inclined to activate that mission so that if, on my various wanderings around the planet, I will be able to find it. And I've lost my tags if I pressed F6 too many times. Yeah, so I think I'm going to just set that mission to active, and if we can pick up 5,000 points to make the Talon happy, that would be really great. I think what we can do is do a berry juice and get some more plant protein. And I'm going to head in the general direction of the iron deposit because the one resource that I'm quite low on is actually iron. So I am going to be keeping an eye out for any little deposits like this, and to make sure that. Okay. Yeah, iron, in some odd ways, is proving a little bit elusive. Partly because I've been a little bit too lazy to go over and mine the iron, to be honest. Off camera, while I was playing through the night, I had a good wander around. Just passing the time away, I suppose. This is a Tull monument. Is that the mission monument? Have I already found it? Because what I did do is I came out down around here a little bit pushed this boundary back, and I did wander through their territory. So maybe I've actually found it, I just need to visit it. I mean, that would be cool. Anyway, let's just move this way. There's a berry bush there, I certainly would like to collect that. Because having the ability to heal myself would be very, very useful. And, oops. And just see where the water is. Yeah, we're heading towards the water. There's the water's through here. The downside of this ship is that you can't see very high. It's one of the reasons why I actually prefer the small vessel. Yep, we're moving towards the water. You can see here all the plant protein. There's just so much of it around. In fact, talking of plant protein, it's just we better eat that and eat another one. We've got plenty of them, and just replace them with a couple of other. I mean, once I've got the fridge in my base, we'll be okay. It's just, I think this little inlet here is shallow water actually. So I think maybe this would be a good place to deploy the what we call it, water generator. Well, it's called a water generator, but it's really more useful for generating oxygen. I think if we put this here, it means that if there's any of the amphibians around here, I'll be able to see them coming. And I'm not going to load this up too much, I'll just put enough across the top row. Grab that, and I suppose I can give you guys a quick look at what it's like underwater. I mean, to be honest, at this point in the game, going underwater is not really a priority. I was very tempted to get these there because the real reason for going underwater is to get alien plasma, to get the advanced medications, but as long as you carry enough of the basic medications and have the ability to make some of the more, I mean, if I just to show you guys, if I come into here, mobile constructor, if you make these and have them when you first get hit, oh, we got food in our thing, we need to move that. What will happen is that as long as the whatever you've been infected with doesn't progress, you'll be fine, guys. I mean, that's the way you need to think about it. Yes, I know. Let's do this one. Noticing it, and that's the way you want to operate on. But always make sure you've got the basic medications, and then you don't have to worry too much about the more advanced medications until you're going up against tougher opponents. Now, one of the hazards, just put the helmet on, one of the hazards of going underwater is that your weapons don't work underwater. So if you run into a pteropod, as far as I can say, and if any of you guys can confirm this, as far as I can work out, the only real defense you've got against a pteropod is a chainsaw, which isn't exactly one of the better weapons to be doing this. So we're just going to have to keep an eye out for here, and as I say, I mean, there's lots of silicon down here, but I don't really need it, although I am gathering it out of habit. You can see if you go underwater here, I mean, there's a lot of this seaweed which isn't harvestable, but what you can get, if I can find any amongst here, is seaweed, but you only get the one plant protein. So as I said, the only real value of coming underwater is if you can find the alien plasma. And I will be coming down here looking for alien plasma in the future. But at the moment, I can't really see the point of coming under here. But in the same breath, having the ability to drop the weapon so we can swim up to the surface and we can save oxygen this way. Yeah, but we will need oxygen when we go out into space, because we will be going out into space eventually, and we will be visiting the moon, because obviously eventually we're going to need to get some of the more exotic elements, and that will mean travelling about. Just gonna grab this. And why am I only getting one per? I'm just going to grab this here. I think rather than go and mine, I think what we're going to do is just have a little bit of a cruise around and see what we can find. Actually, what I could do, seeing we're here, just grab the confetti moss scrapings now. Now we've got a fridge, it's worth collecting these now. And of course it's all XP. You'll keep hearing that whoomp 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 from. And of course we're gonna shove this in as well. We can put the fridge on this side, and we'll put the player on this side. I'm just gonna come back to the fridge. I'm just gonna drop this in. Probably keep this for the moment. We got. Actually, let's keep the plant protein. I've got plenty of protein bars, so I don't really need. Right, let's just curve back. I'm pretty sure I've got enough iron to do what I want to do to power the base up. I'm just gonna come here, grab petty moss scrapings now, because that's. Grab that. We're just going to work our way back towards our home base. Vegetable protein there. I think we could probably grab that, because that would give us the ability to make a vegetable drink. Just there. Oh, we can't make a vegetable drink. Oh, so we can. What am I on about? Right, let's just take that, make that. Yeah, a bit of temporary brain shutdown there, guys. Right, let's just zoom through here. I mean, it's a bit foggy, but we'll be okay. And there's the local creatures. I think we're harvesting there. I mean, the way I'm looking at it at the moment, all these around here, the natural sweetener, the corn, the fibre, I'm treating as, well, as my local harvests is probably the best way to describe it. Although, I suppose truthfully at the moment I'm a space nomad, I suppose is probably a good way to describe existence at the moment. Just whiz over those guys, just upset them a little bit. And actually I've got level 7, haven't I? Just get into here. And you can come up, stock here, just jump out, get back to first person. What we're going to do is just, I think we can turn the thrusters off now just to conserve a little bit of fuel. Got here. Right, gonna just not do that. F4, let's drop that in there. So everything nicely contained. You can put, and I don't know why I keep. I think old habits are hard to break, to be honest. So we can now got that built. Right, let's just find a safe place to stand, because I have had the occasional one of those insects try to come up here, but I effectively killed them. So we've now got plenty of resources. Have a quick look at. We've got enough there. We've got some fuel. We've got a generator, and just make sure I've connected up the. I know I may sound a little bit paranoid, guys, but right. So we've got. Yeah, see, this isn't connected. So this would have been a bit of a major fail if I hadn't done that. So this is now connected up. Large constructor. Let's have a quick check at the tech because we've now done the unlock. Certainly want the assault rifle, so I think we need to get down to here and just get the mobile constructor. I mean, I should have the resources to make this. Get a assault rifle, and we've got here, yeah, nitrocellulose. Little bit low on the nitrocellulose, so make about 5 of those. And I think I've got some fibre in here, haven't I? So if I can get that into there, that should. So we got that ready to go. Right, back to tech. That's unlocked. The armor unlocker's unlocked. Cannon unlocked. I mean, can I set anything up in advance? So large constructor. So what do we need? Let's think this through. We need the ammo box for the constructor, the weapons, so we need the ammo box, 2 of those, and these take 30mm ammunition. So if we queue up about, this is, so we queue up about 5 of those. So everything is queued up, ready to go. I mean, I can put in the food processor and everything else after we got this up and running. So, right, time to go for it, guys. Connect up, outputs, generator, tank. We don't need, that's a cargo box for an SVHV. I'm not too sure where that came from, but, and what we're going to do, put that on the floor or put it up in the air. My instinct actually is to put it, no, that's going to put it too close to the door, so maybe if we have it there and put the fuel tank directly on above it, just break the connection there. Hopefully this will let me fuel it, manage the fuel, base, so many options, and I think we'll put another 10 of these in. And next thing I want to do is power the base on. And just have a quick check. Excuse my paranoia, guys, but I just want to make sure that it's actually started building. Yep, so that's good. What we need now is to wait for the inevitable sound of the drones arriving. Let me just check. Yeah. And I've done it again. I've just come all the way out here when I probably could have just output 100 rounds of ammunition. I thought I'd queued up more than that actually, but that's probably run out of resources, I can guarantee it. Yep, so we're out of copper. Wow. I thought I normally got piles of copper. That's base. Oh, why is it not picking up my of a vehicle. Wow. Obviously it doesn't like... Yeah. Obviously the storage limitation, but in the long term that's not going to be a problem, guys, simply because over time things will work out. And right, let's just get into here. Can drop some more copper into there. I think we'll just put the alien tooth in there just for the moment. And right, have you guys actually built anything yet? Right, we've got the carg ammo box. It's not going to go on there. So we're going to have to go this way. Keep thinking I can hear spiders, but it could be my imagination. You just see ammo box. I mean, could put the ammo box above there. I'd like to leave that slot by the armor locker for the solar generator. I mean, I could just put that above like that. No, let's just put that there. And how's this going? Right, we built one, so let's get this up on the roof. I think now we've got no surefire idea where these are coming from. I think we'll put one facing that way. Kind of inclined to maybe fill in this space a little bit. Just leave a hole in the center there for the moment for me to dive in and out of. Just drop that back. I think we're looking good. Everything is strangely quiet, which is making me a little bit nervous. I was expecting almost within minutes of me powering the base up, getting the message saying drone attack imminent, but I mean, if the game wants to give me, okay, we've got another one. Got the second turret built. Oh, okay, we're in the, and I think we'll put this turret. I think we'll rotate you that way. So we've now got the two turrets. And how are we doing for ammunition? We've got 210 ammunition. Right, we should be able to, if we come to here, manage, that's the ammo box. This is base output. And I think what I can do now is come to devices. Got to remember, I think we're going to auto group everything here. So we've now got the two turrets. And we can set this for turn off predators, NPC factions. Just leave that on for the moment. There is going to be a little bit of a risk in the sense that if the Talon come too close, we may shoot at them, which would be a little bit antisocial, I suppose. I want the food processor next because I think that's going to be quite important. We've now got the food processor up and running. Just check the tech. Got the solar panels. So I think the next thing we can build is, where is it here? Look at the solar capacitor. And so these are the small ones. So what's this? Optical glass sheets. I think if I've got the resources, 4 solar panels would be great to get started with. I mean, this place looks pretty grim, but I saw that move. I mean, are you tracking anything? Well, they don't seem to be. I could probably do with some more ammunition. Oops. Okay, we'll go play on this side. Just drop that down. Where am I going to put this? Don't really want it next to that. I mean, I could put it up here. I think maybe we'll just tuck this in here. Of course, what we're going to need to do is a food processor, and we're going to have to connect to fridge 1 input and output now, because it's the fridge that is the storage for the food processor now, not the food processor itself. And I think what I might be able to do, I don't know if the game is going to oblige me with this. Come in here, if we break the connection there, pick up the hover vehicle fridge there, pick up the base and the fridge there, you should now be able to transfer a whole lot of this stuff over. Don't need that. Probably put that in there. I think this can stay. Oops. Well, we need food anyway, so let's eat a steak. And I'm just going to put some. Actually, just put the majority of the natural sweetener in here. So we've now got the fridge up and running, and now we're down to essential supplies. Oops. So we're now down to essential supplies in other vehicle. That should save weight a little bit. So let's just have a quick look. What can we produce here? I mean, we can produce some meat. I suppose we could get, but we make the meat from the steaks. I mean, medically speaking, we could get. This is what I was saying, guys. Is now we've got the food processor, we can now start to create things like this antibiotic pill, which is good against infected wounds, necrosis, open wound, dermal burn, and frostbite. So we could probably that confetti. I think we'll make some of those while we're at it. Right, let's just see how well the base is gone with the. Right, so let's just drop that down. Now, placing these solar panels is going to be a little bit tricky, simply because they could be vulnerable to attack. So we've now got that in there. I'm just going to come up here. I mean, I could block in the roof now, actually, come to think of it. So just put that there. Just going to put this here. Now, the problem I'm going to get is these are the large solar panels. I don't want you, I want it so it fits flat on the roof, like this. 4 of them. If I rotate, and can we get, to see if I can line this up. That's 2. That's 2. So if we put 2 like that, and another one like that, can't fit in. They should not obstruct the turrets. We've got the east-west orientation this way. The drones may get some hits on it, but we will have the cannons to protect these solar panels. And if any of you guys saying, why am I putting them flat? Well, I find putting them flat, especially in an area like this. True, they have low power when the sun is low, but if you put an angled one in that direction, when the sun goes over, then the efficiency drops very quickly. What I've found is that if you put them flat, they get more exposure to the sun. Plus the fact is they don't get in the way of the guns when we're actually defending. I mean, we're not going to get much power from them at the moment. We got 33%. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. I mean, I could probably power off the large constructor. Right, let's just create a new group. Call this solar power. Here, what we're going to do is just add to group, and we're just going to just shove so that they're all together, so it keeps the whole base tidy. I think the food processor can stay ungrouped. Of course, the advantage now is that you can come in here, can actually rename these now. This is large. Can't remember access. That's the output one. This is the input one. Yep. So what we could do is call this constructor in, and oops, just to make sure. Yep, it's the one. Back again, back to here, and we'll call you constructor out. That will mean that I can now detect what is, and we've got a bit more ammunition. So right, and we've got a bit more ammunition, so well, we should be able to get the ammo box here, get the base, and get constructor out. That gives these 350 ammunition. I think we can do the fuel here. I think we'll just drop the rest of the fuel in there. And I think that's about it, guys. I was hoping for the local drones to come in and attack, because what we're going to do is start harvesting the drones. Just break that out, and just to give you a quick look at the tech, what we're going to be aiming at next is to get to tech level 12, where we can get this deconstructor, because if we can get the deconstructor, we can start getting some of the cobalt ore. Because just a quick flavour of where I'm going is that what I'm looking to do is build something like this, but you can see we need to get to level 10. These are the Nightshade ships. They're actually built by Spanj, and this is the one I used in my Alpha 8 series, and I do like it, but you can see it needs 122 cobalt, and finding cobalt around here is going to be a bit difficult, where this one doesn't have any cobalt in at all. So this might have to be the first ship that we're going to build. You can see we need 218 copper, 184 substrate, silicon and iron, and this is not a bad little ship. I mean, I'm going to apologise to Spanj in advance that it's out of date in the context of Alpha 9, so when I actually build it, probably the first thing I'm going to do is take it apart and give it some extra capacity. But the reason it doesn't have cobalt in it is the fact that it's got no warp drive or no advanced weapons. It will do the job for getting around and starting to wage a little bit of war on anyone who's around. I can hear one of the local creatures around here just at the moment. Right guys, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you've enjoyed the video, hope you found it interesting. As I say, in the next part the focus is going to turn back very much more towards exploring, getting the resources. Maybe off camera I will go and collect the resources to maybe do the blueprint so we can get our small vessel up and running, because that will give us some offensive weaponry. But that's all for the next video, so until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.